Thank you for joining us on this exclusive interview with the Inspector General of the National Police Service, Douglas Kanja, on various matters regarding security of the country. And thank you for speaking to us on NTV. Recently, there was the report launched by the EACC, which had some very revealing findings regarding the National Police Service. What is your assessment of what was found through that?
To me, that is a very good report. And that is exactly what I was looking forward to getting. Mr. Mwangi, remember I took over the mantle for the IGP, the Inspector General of the Republic of Kenya, in late last year. If you can remember, it was sometimes in September, mid-September last year. We also remember that, and we all know that police service has actually been, year in, year out, has been accused of being the leading, corrupt entity in the Republic of Kenya. So when I took over, together with my DIGs and the DCI, we decided to, to discuss the issue of corruption in the service. Because my take is that I thought by addressing corruption and the causes of the corruption in the service, we will have dealt a great deal of one major problem that has been afflicting the service. So we did agree with the DIGs and the DCI that let us call in the EACC, because they are the experts in that field, so that they can be able to examine our systems, to look at our processes, our procedures, our practices, and advise us where there could be gaps that are actually leading us in the direction of being, found to be the most corrupt entity. We wanted actually to deal with the issues of corruption in the service. And after that, we had a discussion with the EACC here in this office on the way forward. And I'm very happy that from February this year, that process of examining our systems and processes and procedures commenced and was completed sometimes in June. And in that report, there is a lot of information on what we can do to close in on the gaps that have actually been, allowing, the service to be deemed to be a corrupt service.
But the data is saying it's not just deemed.
Yep. So these are some of the areas that we're working on, even now. They pointed out very, very clearly that recruitment has also been an area seriously affected by corruption. But there are also recommendations on what needs to be done so that we can be able to eliminate or minimize to the lowest levels corruption in the recruitment exercise. And that is exactly what we have even deployed. And the results are there to be seen by all. And from what I have heard, from what I have gotten, even from the intelligence sources, the exercise was free and fair.
So we've not had any cases of corruption?
No, I have not had any case of corruption, for information.
So this report, is one that doesn't cast the best light on the service. How is it that this kind of corruption and the likes is somehow still surviving under your watch? Is it that we don't have proper systems and structures?
Mr. Mwagi, let me say this. First of all, I wanted to get the true status from EACC to tell us, because I wanted to understand the gaps. Where are these gaps? Where are the problems? So that I can be able to deal with the problems. Because without understanding the root cause of this, then you cannot be able to deal effectively with a problem. Yeah? You go to a medical doctor because you are sick, you must explain that this is what I'm feeling. And then, because that man is an expert or a woman, he deals with your case. The same case applies to, we went to the EACC, told them we have some problems, and these are the kind of problems. Please come and examine our systems. The systems had been there since 1963 and beyond.
In the brief that you've gotten now from the EACC based on their findings, do we have specific officers who have been flagged as, having engaged in corrupt dealings? And if so, what are you doing about it?
Let me say this, Mr. Mwangi. Remember when I called in the EACC, I was very, very clear in my mind that what I wanted was for them to examine our systems, our processes, our operations. We were not going for investigations or to investigate anybody, yeah? I just wanted to get to know the gaps, because once I deal with the gaps, then the other areas are also, addressed. However, if there is anyone involved in these criminal activities of corruption and the rest, then the laws are actually very, very clear on what needs to be done.
So we don't have any specific...
No. I don't have any specific, because it was about the gaps. Where are these gaps that are allowing these vices to, to continue the service? So dealing with the gaps, you deal once and for all with the problem.
At the heart of corruption altogether are human beings.
Yes.
Okay? Who the structures you've talked about, systems, etc., are what they are manipulating or maneuvering to commit the crimes. I don't know whether I feel a sense of urgency about dealing with the people. While we appreciate that, the systems and there has to be some kind of procedure, but what about the people? Because right now, where Kenyans are, the Kenyans who you're saying will trust you, and then you will no longer be number one, are the same ones who want action without delay on the specific thing. And one of the, at the heart of it, like I said, is people. But it seems like that is not the most immediate thing.
Mr. Mwangi, let me say this. What we want, our intention, is to make our stations, the police stations that we know, the centers of excellence, where people can be able to get quality service from the police, yeah? So, in order for us to achieve that, dealing with the corruption issues is critical. But that alone cannot make our stations the centers of excellence. There are other critical issues that we must address also. Number one, there is the component of training and the capacity building. We need to train and retrain our officers. From where I sit, our officers must be in the position to understand our constitution, the relationship between our constitution and the station, and the relationship between the station and the people who are the owners of the constitution.
There's action that may not need investment. When we talk about CCTV cameras, etc., there's a whole dynamic about budgeting and do we have the resources. But when it comes to heads rolling, for instance, because the corruption that has been committed, in some cases has caused deaths. And that's why you find people are very agitated and keen to know, when do I see heads rolling because of this corruption thing?
Thank you, Mr. Mwangi. Remember what I have said. Even now, as we continue to roll out the report of the EACC, remember, it doesn't mean that we are starting now. No. There are many other measures that we have put in place that have actually been continuing. And that does not mean that even now, heads continues to roll for your information.
So do we have any so far that have rolled?
Yes, we have. In fact, we have a whole lot of investigations ongoing. It is only that we don't go publishing that, now we are investigating so-and-so, we are investigating because we have got mechanisms of dealing with these issues.
Do we have any number that can work with to get an idea of how many cases are actually being...
There are actually several cases in the country, because there are those that are being investigated by the DCI. We have the Internal Affairs Unit investigating. We have even IPOA investigating others. So there are several cases that are being investigated. What I'm trying to say is that there is nobody, there's no officer who is above the law.
So, so we're saying if, for example, you find, let's say even one of your deputies is implicated, will you hesitate in having...
No, investigations will be carried out because that's the law. Yeah.
So we will not hesitate in having that matter being prosecuted?
No. We won't, because I have said no one is above the law. Yeah. Nobody is above the law.
Okay. For you, how does it feel being the person in charge of the most corrupt government agency? How does that sit with you as a person?
Mr. Mwangi, let me say this. Ours is a big service. Yeah? It's a big service. And the police service is deployed throughout the Republic of Kenya. And the police service is always in the contact with the people, from morning to evening and from evening to the next morning.
So how does it feel for you?
I can tell you we have great men and women in this
So that doesn't dampen your spirits or anything?
No. My spirit can never be dampened because I understand this
The most corrupt agency under you?
Not the most corrupt agency.
In terms of, based on the research that has been done?
No, but it's also about, perception. Mr. Mwangi, we must also understand that because I'm saying this. Look at our border from border post 1 up there in Mandera to border post 27 in Ramu down there. Men and women are watching and ensuring that this country remains safe and secure. No criminal can come here to disturb you in Nairobi. It is because they are keeping watch there. Okay.
Are you disputing the data?
I'm not disputing the data or your information. So, but what we are saying is that we have a service composed of men and women of great integrity, actually.
You've talked about investigations, and there have been concerns at times that some of the investigations are below par. Do you feel there's a gap in terms of the quality of investigations being done by the DCI?
Mr. Mwangi, let me say this. I've said that we want to make our stations the center of excellence for police operations. But I've also indicated that training is a key driver. Yeah? Whether in the basic training, whether in advanced training is important. Early this week, I had discussions with the Treasury because we are looking for additional funding for training purposes. Because, as I have said there earlier, to me, training is very, very important. We invest.
What kind of shortfall do you feel in terms of the training based on the circumstances? Where are you now? Are you just having, what, 40% of your officers being trained?
No. We have, we have around 45%, but we need to push that number up because we can be able to do that.
I mean, you speak very well about your team. You talk about how good you have investigators, etc. But from where the public sits, at times there are some gaps which put that to question. For example, where is Collins Jumaisi, the man who's the prime suspect in the murder of at least 40 women?
My friend, Mr. Mwangi, Collins Jumaisi, as we have said, remember the other day when I was there with at the DCI headquarters, we had a press conference. And the issue of Jumaisi came up, and we did request the public people of this country to assist us in getting hold of this man. We know what transpired in our station there, and appropriate actions have actually been taken against those who are deemed to have, committed those crimes that allowed Jumaisi to leave our station, our lawful custody. But we have also requested, we have also actually, advised our people to assist us wherever it is. And I know at the end of the day we are going to lay our hands on Jumaisi, and he must pay for his crimes. Yeah.
What is this that you found that these officers did to aid this guy to get away?
Mr. Mwangi, whenever such an issue arises in any of our station, it is subject to investigation. to understand how did this person get out of the station, who were involved in that, why did they do that. So investigations were carried out, and those who are found to have been culpable were dealt with. But the big question is, no. But
because you've kind of glossed over it again. I'm just curious, what did they do? Is it that they were found to have released him? Is it that he bribed them and they let him go? What was found from these investigations?
Let me put it this way, Mr. Moki. And I have said it very, very clearly, that at any given time, you find that the station is taken care of 24/7. There is always somebody who is keeping watch at any given time. So if anything happens during that period of watch, then you are held to account. Yeah? And that is exactly what happened with those who are on duty at that particular time. But the question is, where is this man? The answer is, we have not gotten him. And we have requested the support of the people of Kenya so that we can be able to lay our hands on that man once again. Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Ejit, I think you've still not answered, because I think there is, like I'm saying, there is the curiosity of, you said they were found culpable and relevant action, administrative action has been taken against them. So were they found to have aided him to get away?
Yes, and that is the reason why they lost their jobs.
Okay, so was it that they bribed this guy? I mean, he bribed them?
Well, that one I cannot say whether it's due to bribe, but the negligence was on their part, yeah?
It becomes again a concern when we talk about that there's someone who is missing, and this also ties into, there are times we've asked yourself or the DCI director about, like, some of the people who people have said have been abducted, they're missing, and the police says we don't know where they are. So it creates some kind of concern among the public that if the police wenye mkono mrefu do not know, how much can we rely on them just for us to, to have that safety?
Let me say this, Mr. Mongi. You know, when a report is made to any police station throughout the Republic that there is a missing person, for example, investigations commences from that point. And a lot of things happen, actually. You know, many people don't understand really about this investigation when a report of a missing person has been made. Yeah? We commence our investigation throughout. And all the stations within the Republic of Kenya are informed about that issue. The description is given and any other detail that can be able to assist us in tracing. And many have actually been traced. Others have been found. Others have been found to have, disappeared and then resurfaced. So there are many things that happen. But of importance here is that every case reported of a missing person, the police have got a duty, an obligation to investigate to its logical conclusion.
And can you genuinely say, in all honesty, that we do not have police officers abducting Kenyans?
No. No, we don't have.
So even those who we see, the people who've been caught even either on camera or people have reported, and they were taken in, if I may call it, abduction style, and people go missing for some time, and the vehicles there, people say they seem to, people will would draw parallels to say these are police officers because of how they operate. Are you saying that all these cases people are misguided in terms of believing these are police?
Yeah, Mr. Mongi, let me say this. This service and every member of this service understands the duties of the police very, very clearly. And in the duties of the police, abduction is not a part of our duty. No, it's not part of our duty.
But it seems there are some who...
No, and if anyone can go in that direction, then believe you me, we will carry out appropriate actions as guided by the, by the laws. Because the duties of the police are, they are very, very clear. Our responsibilities are very, very clear. So anybody who goes against that have actually is in breach of the law.
So we are saying that there are some people who are armed and operate in ways that people seem to be like police who are out there abducting people.
No, Mr. Mwangi. That is,
because these are what we have seen.
That is not what I'm saying, but I'm saying within the service.
Because if they are not police, and there are people who have been seen, some have been caught on camera, picking someone up, picking people up, they are armed, and they, so are we saying that there's some people out there who are picking people up, and these are not police officers, and now the actual police have not caught up with them?
Mr. Mwangi, as I have said there before, number one, police officers have got a duty and responsibility, and those duties are guided, by the laws, by the Constitution, The duties are very, very clear. And the part of our responsibility is the protections of the rights and freedoms of the people. And abduction is not part of that. So what we are saying, if there is anybody involved in such an activity, that is a criminal act. And appropriate actions must be taken. Otherwise, from where I sit, we cannot allow that to happen. We want the police officers to do the duties that are assigned to them.
When you see photos and videos of people who are like, last year in June, July, people who have been killed by police, what does that make you feel, even just as a Kenyan? People who are unarmed.
Mr. Mwangi, the business of the police, first of all, is not to kill anybody. And I have indicated there before that our business is to protect the rights and freedoms of the people. So if such things happen, for example, that is an area that requires some very, very, very serious investigations, so that we get to understand what is it that happened, what is it that led into that particular, action to be carried out by the concerned officer. So our business, as I have said, is only to operate within the law and to protect the rights and freedoms of the people. And that's why whenever you see such a picture, of course, you get so much concerned. What is it that could have happened, And for us, we allow others to have a look at that and advise, including the IPO and the rest, so that we can be able to get the correct, position of exactly what really transpired to lead into that.
In retrospect, do you feel that the police would have handled the protesters differently?
Mr. Mwangi, Article 37 of our laws guides very well and is very, very clear on all those issues. And if we follow the law, all of us, the protesters, the officers should actually be there to guide the protesters so that they can be able to, to protest, and because that is allowed by the law, But now, when there is a breach of the same law, now it becomes difficult, to distinguish between the law of protest and criminal activities. And that is where now the problem sets in, Otherwise, our laws are very, very clear of what should happen. That if you want to protest, there are the procedures that are supposed to be followed.
So do you think it should have been done different?
No, and the police are there, even to ensure that the protesters are also well protected, and the other road users, for example, are also well guided on the areas that they can be able to use. Those are the the law of protests, and the law there guides very, very well. But when now things goes outside the frameworks of the law, that is something different altogether.
So do you feel police should have handled it differently? in hindsight?
My take of the handling of what happened then, yeah, probably our officers could have done much better than that. But we must also remember that I have clearly indicated that training is a key component at all times, because as we continue to train our officers, they even become much better.
If you were to say the performance of the service, what would you rate yourselves? Think about all these things, because you have spoken about a number of things. You have spoken such glowing praise of a service that Kenyans would likely not fully agree with you in regards to whether, you know, they are very professional, they are doing a good job, etc., etc. What would you rate in a scale of 0 to 10?
Mr. Mwangi, first of all, we must remember Rome was not built in a day.
So 0 to 10?
It took years actually to build Rome. So now, that's exactly what they're doing. So in a scale of 0 to 10, I let ourselves at around 8 and going upwards.
8. And why do you think Kenyans don't agree with that?
Look at it this way, Mr. Mwangi. Now, and I'm saying this as the Inspector General, our country is safe and secure. Yeah? You left your home in the morning. Do you reported duty here at the NTV? And now you are here in the office of the Inspector General. You will still go back home. And even when you are driving on our roads, nobody is going to stop you on those roads. And if anyone can stop you, probably a uniformed police officer is the one who can be able to flag you down. A lawful, who are carrying out a lawful duty. Our country is safe and secure from north to south, from east to west. That is a good measure of the kind of service that we are rendering to this country, despite probably other small things here and there. But the measure is our country is secure. Investments are going on. Our economic activities are going on. We wake up in the morning, we go back to our homes in the evening. Others leave in the evening, they return there in the morning, and their homes are safe. Our country is safe and secure.
But people are afraid of being in police stations because people have died in police stations. So how would we say with so much confidence that it is safe? And I mean, you'd expect if I was arrested doing something wrong, and I'm taken into police custody, I would face justice eventually if I'm going to be found in, end up in prison.
Thank you.
But instead I end up in the grave.
Thank you very much, Mwangi, for asking that question. My position as the Inspector General is that a police station is a safe area. Our cells are safe. And if, for whatever reason,
but the incident says something different.
An incident happened because an incident can happen.
But it was not one. We've had a number of reported deaths in police custody.
Remember, Mr. Mwangi, losing one life is one too many to me.
Exactly.
Yes, and I don't want that to happen at all. Because our cells should be a safe place for our people. You are supposed to be in the cells, and tomorrow you are taken to the court, if that is the direction that should be taken, but not to lose your life in the cells. And that is why such an incident must be investigated to the logical conclusion. If there is anyone who has actually not done what he was supposed to do, that led to the loss of life, then he must get the punishment as guided by the laws.
But there still remains the concern about the trust issue with the police, because it's not like there's a scientific formula of which police cell someone will die in, so to the point where someone would wonder, am I safe wherever I'm being taken to custody?
And that is the reason why, Mr. Mwangi, I want us to continue improving. I want us to continue investing in the policing services. Yeah, I want us to have everything that is required in those stations so that we make them the centers of excellence.
Thank you very much for speaking to us, Bwana Kanja. This is the Inspector General of the National Police Service, Douglas Kanja, who's been speaking to us exclusively on NTV, and we look to seeing your feedback on the same and your views on what he has said in this conversation. Thank you for staying with us.